10?
Come on.
Well, you got me the cream cheese spread, which is great. You went to Starbucks and everything.
You know what? That's probably about, 400 calories for you. Since you calorie count and you run your 6 miles every single day, let everybody know.
I'll just scoop out the bread. I'll just scoop it out and make it really healthy. Oh, that's a nice play there by Mo Harkless.
You know the thing about it, you're going to take that home and eat that bagel and calorie count them.
I'm going to sneak it so nobody sees me, and then I'm going to run an extra mile tomorrow. Really? There's calories in pizza? Oh, I've got some problems, Corey.
What are you talking about?
I got some real problems then.
What is it, a no gluten-free pizza? Or
this is okay. So now that we're going to do this, you want to play this game. By the way, a foul on the floor. It'll be 3 free throws for Malik Beasley. Let's just go back to where this started. So our wonderful producer a year ago, Stephen Rose, comes to the airplane last year, and he has a box of Randy's donuts.
Okay.
And he says, would you guys like one? And of course I partake. And here's what I remember. You said, quote, I can't have a donut. I had carbs last week.
I can't believe you remember something like that.
So I don't want to hear about calorie counting. You literally go week to week without eating carbohydrates.
No. You know what? If my family's home listening, they know that I enjoy cookies and Swedish fish, so I do indulge on some carbs, bro, okay? I got to keep this figure.
I felt bad for Steven. He was making a gesture to you, and I felt bad so that I ate your donut that you declined. This Kawhi Leonard, he's not going to go have donuts.
You ate 2 donuts, by the way. Remember, 2 donuts. And thank you, Steven, for even offering the donut. But also, you know what? I'm gonna give Steven a little love. Every game last season, he would try to give me a postcard to send home. That's really cool, right?
That's very nice.
It's very nice.
I hope you took him up on that instead of denying him his hospitality with the donuts.
He didn't give me one in Hawaii, but that's okay.
Back-to-back turnovers, and the Clippers on the power play. A whistle will impede the fast break.
You know what else? Because you have probably one of the greatest two-way players in the game in Kawhi and Paul George, it really ignites everyone else on the floor. I wouldn't be surprised. Lou Williams will really step up on the defensive end as well. And they talk about that he might not be the best defender. Lou Williams is a great team defender. When you're a great team defender, it helps everyone.
Nice take inside by Zubac. Just his first miss is 6 points. Morris drills the 3. He was so good last year. Only played a few games 2 years ago. Played all 82 last year. Averaged double digits. A real reason why the Nuggets were second to the West. Reason why the Clippers made the playoffs and will likely be a threat for the title. That guy right there.
Just unbelievable to see what Lou Williams can do at any time in the game. And if you watch film, you know that Lou Williams goes left, he's going to knock down a shot. And if you give him any straightaway shots, he's going to make you pay.
Strong drive by Terrence Mann.
Look at this shot. Shot it far back from Winnetka, Georgia.
Well, Lou gets the start tonight. Has started less than 10% of every game he's ever played. And you can make that argument, and I will listen, that he's the greatest sixth man of all time. It's Mo Harkless knocking it in. He didn't miss a shot against the Shanghai Sharks. He remains perfect. He's 2 for 2 tonight.
I just love Mo's length on the court. And if he can be a consistent three-point shooter, it just opens up another animal for this entire team.
Hernan Gomez finds the mismatch. A mouse in the house and takes advantage of it. Draws the foul, and Lou Williams, it's a little chin music.
You know, last game, like you said, for Mo, 7 for 7 from the field. And basically all of those points happen for Mo by moving without the basketball, finding open space on the floor. Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Lou did not play Sunday against Shanghai. Again, got to start here tonight. And they're going to take a look at Lou. We'll be back. Clippers by 3.
PIF Southern Section games live every Friday night.
Big 12 football all season long.
Clippers' first game at Staples Center here in the preseason, and guess what? Now it's time for Haggle. No Haggle, brought to you by CarMax. Corey Maggette.
Yes.
The Denver Nuggets will exceed their win total of 54 games from last season. Haggle or no Haggle?
Oh, you saw the switch. I'm not haggling.
I am not going to haggle.
On that.
You're going to haggle.
Wait, I'm haggling. So you believe that they will win 54 games?
I think they will win more than 54 games.
No way. The West is too strong to win them that many. I don't believe it. I can't agree with you, Brian.
I feel that they could win the West.
You believe that the Denver Nuggets can win the West?
I do.
You must have forgot we're here in Clipperland. We have two bona fide stars. And then across the street, you have another guy by the name of Mr. LeBron James. Hold on, man. I must be sitting next to the Rome Brian Seaman. Oh, let me give you some water right here.
Listen, I say they could win the West. And here's how it looked last year. They won 54 games. They were number 2 out West. There's going to be some reshuffling. I think they're going to be better than they were last year. They might win less games than they did last year for sure, but be a better team. But I'm telling you, you look at those top 5 teams there and you throw the Clippers in, any one of those teams could win the Western Conference. And the real topic of debate is who wins the West? What's the record that wins the West? Because it's definitely not going to be 60 games, which it has been 8 of the last 10 years.
I think it's going to be around that 50 mark with every single team in the league. You just look at the star power. You know, we haven't had a chance to even talk about the Utah Jazz, adding Bogdanovich there. I mean, and Mike Conley Jr. So everything changes this season in the entire Western Conference.
Landry Shamet is in there for Lou Williams, who does appear to be fine, I say, from a distance on the bench. I'm not saying the Nuggets will win the West. I'm just saying can win the West. So can Utah. Nice bucket there. Yeah. So can the Lakers. Certainly the Clippers.
Listen, I'm betting on the Clippers.
I know where I would.
Are you betting on the Clippers?
I'm not a gambling man by nature, but I know where I would place.
You're a bagel man, but we're betting on the Clippers right now.
Impressive stuff right here.
I mean, for Utah, I mean, that is such a great pickup. Bogdanovich and Mike Conley, that really opens it. Now for Utah, you have a better shooter at the point guard spot. He's not a better passer than Ricky Rubio, but he's a better scorer. And that's really going to help him out. And it takes more pressure off of Donovan Mitchell.
Utah, Denver are the 2 teams I don't think people talk enough about. The Clippers certainly have had higher expectations. Doc Rivers was great about it. He says, why would we run from those expectations? Embrace them. I think the team has.
It's all about the championship mindset. This is the position. This is exactly what the Clippers wanted. Now, you have the media attention. You have the star power. This is your chance. This is your chance to do it.
Malik Beasley drops in the jump shot. He has not missed a shot. You mentioned his improvement a year ago. He's 4 for 4 so far tonight off the bench. Denver with the last 7. Lob to Zubac. Fouled at the peak of his leap. He'll go to the line.
Really impressed with Zubac, just the amount of weight he lost in the offseason. And if you want to really improve on your game, you need to take care of your conditioning. He did a phenomenal job of taking care of his conditioning, but also what he's really working on is his lateral quickness. And the more lateral quickness that Ivica have, the better he'll be able to defend.
And now a quick word from GMC.
The world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
He has looked very good all week. You saw him last week in Hawaii as well. Knocks down the second free throw.
It's good to see Lou Williams back on the floor. You know what really impressed me about the Denver Nuggets? You look at the Clippers roster as far as now their star power with their starting 5, but the Clippers have always had a great bench. And now the Denver Nuggets kind of took that system and added more pieces to the team as Ivica slams it home.
Shedding defenders inside. Ivica Zubac now in double digits with 10. Super athletic Grant inside. No, but he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
The more unselfish this Clipper team established, the more guys will get a chance to score the basketball. And Ivica will be a guy that will score the basketball because you have two dominant players that can help him.
That was the Arango good times moment. How about this? Clippers have 17 made shots, 13 assists. Montrezl Harrell. Here's a nice look at Ivica Zubac, 4 for 5. Again, his numbers while in Hawaii in those 2 games, 7 of 9 combined, 16 points, 12 rebounds. Again, these players aren't playing much more than 20 minutes. He played 28 total minutes in those 2 games. I mentioned earlier fouling out of one of them.
It's just about preseason is really about gaining more trust from your coach. This is minutes. You get more minutes, you gain more trust. This is just, it's not fair. It's not fair.
Leaves his calling card right there, moving to his left.
The underground goat, Lou Williams, going left every single time. Are you following the scouting report? He goes left, he fades, he scores.
Turnover against the Nuggets. Offensive foul on Gary Harris, their 10th. The previous 9 giveaways have led to 7 Clipper points. And there's Mike Malone. He's done a wonderful job in Denver. You see he moves to his right there, Corey. Now he's playmaking for everybody else. Great look for Jerome Robinson. Book it. Timeout, Denver. Jerome Robinson was spectacular Sunday. Picks up where he left off. Clippers on top and
to be unselfish on the floor, you have to have great court vision. And right away, Kawhi Leonard navigates the space and finds JaMychal Green fading to the corner for the nice 3. Look at the space. He knew exactly where JaMychal will be. And then on the flip side, if 2 defenders tries to stop you, someone else is open. He finds Montrezl Harrell. He finishes with a thunderous dunk. The same thing happens for Ivica Zubac. He finds the space, carves it right out in the middle, and scores with ease.
Kawhi Leonard with 6 assists. Mentioned it earlier. The team now with 15 assists on the 19 made shots. They lead 48-43 midway through the second quarter. Turnover number 11. Montrez leads the break. Sidestepping defenders to the cup with the right-handed whistle will send him to the line.
Again, it's their defense. Montrezl Harrell showing that length on the opposite end to get that steal. And just much of his improved dribbling has allowed him to take the ball, the length of the score, to get to the basket and get fouled.
He says he always likes to kind of push himself out of his comfort zone in the offseason. Last year, ball handling was one of them. This year, extending that range. We've seen a couple of mid-range jumpers already fall here in the preseason for Montrez. Tomorrow, the Ford CIF Southern Section High School Football Game of the Week returns for Week 7. It's a powerhouse matchup with Servite facing off against the nation's #1 ranked team, Mater Dei. Coverage begins at 7:30 on Fox Sports West and streaming on Fox Sports Go. Jokic plays the role of point guard. Now as Shamadam tries to attack, finds an open Gary Harris for 3, misses badly, chipping some paint on that 3, and Mo Harkless fouled on the rebound.
But you know what happened on that play? Montrezl Harrell ran out. He saw the rotation on that actual play. He ran out to contest that shot. I mean, look at the run out by Montrez. He contests the shot on Gary Harris, and now Mo Harkless was able to get the basketball.
And the beauty of being in the bonus, fouled 90 feet or more from the basket, you're going to the free throw line. And Mo Harkless looked really good in those 2 games. Take away the perfect game against the Shanghai Sharks. Just did a lot of little things. Deflections, solid defense. It'll be interesting to see. It's a lot of decisions for Doc Rivers to make, but he has talked about it. There's a sliding starting 5 for him, at least in his mind, as we came in here to tonight.
Definitely will start by matchups. Whichever matchup comes into this building or you play, you can have those interchangeable parts. It can be Mo Harkless. It could be JaMychal Green. I mean, you have a great luxury of 2 players that can stretch the floor and have great length on the defensive end.
Clippers on an 11-2 run. Jamal Murray takes care of that and leaves it in. Murray, 3 for 3. He has 6 points. By the way, the Nuggets are shooting, Corey, 59% from the floor. Nice defense there by Murray that essentially forces the turnover. Then Jokic gives it right back. Turnover number 12 for the Nuggets. That turnover for the Clippers was number 7. Coming up at halftime, brought to you by Cadillac. Yeah, I think you know what we're going to talk about. Kawhi's impressive debut. And the Clippers sharing the ball. Patrick Patterson checks into the lineup for the first time in this preseason.
You know, when you look at this entire roster, I mean, from a managerial standpoint, you're looking for playoff experience, right? You look at this playoff, you have a lot of interchangeable utility guys that can help you this season.
4 consecutive turnovers, 2 on each team. Preseason, Corey.
Preseason. Break the rust off.
Did you come into a game in the preseason and focus on one thing, like I want to get my legs, or I want to work on getting to the rim, or?
Number one is conditioning. I need to get myself in basketball shape.
Can't do that eating donuts. Patterson for 3.
What are you eating any donuts, Brian? You had 2.
You had carbs last year, I remember. Murray. Good closeout there by Jerome Robinson.
That's great defense.
Oh, what a pass. What a finish.
I just love the defense first by Landry Shamet. He took the contact from Will Barton, played with his highs straight up, not to get the foul. Just so happened that they came in and got the rebound.
Handle on full display, passing on full display, and a rare miss at the iron from Montrezl Harrell. Oh, what a feed from Jokic. Little buddy ball inside from Jokic to Millsap.
I tell you, that kid is unbelievable with his passing.
6 points, 6 rebounds for Jokic. That's his second assist. The Nuggets have taken 30 shots. They've made 18 of them. Clippers still lead by 1. Lou in trouble, doubled in the corner. That's coffin corner, and yet some way, somehow, he sneaks out of it. And he'll stretch to the free throw line for a couple of free throws.
I just wanted to show you this play by Landry Shamet. He fights over the screen. He regains the contact from Will Barton, but he plays with high hands. That's the perfect defense in the possession. Doc Rivers will definitely have that in the film session for Landry Shamet.
He was surprisingly very solid defensively last year. If you look behind the numbers, Doc Rivers said, I didn't realize how fast he was defensively. Landry Shamet actually was the fastest starter in the NBA offensively, as we've seen him running around screens, but he used that speed on defense as well.
I mean, what a great learning experience for Landry Shamet in Philly. Hit J.J. Redick. You watch J.J. Redick. J.J. Redick gave you so much information, and then all of a sudden you use your own God-given abilities to shoot the basketball and to play hard defense by moving laterally.
You know, Doc calls those kinds of players route runners. Says there's not enough of them in the NBA. Clippers got a great one in Shamet. Here's Murray. Surrounded by defenders inside, and then he'll go to the free throw line for a couple of free throws. Murray is flammable for sure. Had games last year of 49, 46, 36, had 34 in the second half of a game. And you can see why the Nuggets are high on him. He has a chance to tie up the score here in the first half. Nuggets looking for their second win here in the preseason. For all of Fox Sports West's high school football coverage, follow at Prep Zone on Twitter. I've got you covered with all the best highlights, exclusive player interviews, features, and more.
This is a position you want to play without fouling and putting the Denver Nuggets on the free throw line.
Both teams have been there 12 times. Lou to Trez, great read. And how about the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card? That shot won't fall, but the Clippers were late in the clock. Some way, somehow, Lou Williams wills himself to the free throw line.
For the first possession, he got Paul Millsap before pulled a veteran move on a veteran. And then right here, Lou Williams understands body control and when a player sticks his hand in the cookie jar to get a foul and put himself on the free throw line.
Lou wondering aloud why he is not shooting for a three-point play. That was a tough one to figure out all of last year, and it didn't seem like it was consistent. And Doc Rivers having an extended, seemingly one-sided conversation with the officiating crew.
Officials are in preseason as well. We give them a break right now. Give them a break.
I tell you, we talked about a little bit of this in Hawaii, but if you watch the FIBA World Cup, you have a great deal of appreciation for the three gentlemen that call the game and women that call the game every single night in the league. They don't get it right every time, but most of the time they do. Blocked by man. Here come the Clippers on the power play. Drives in on Jokic.
It's a play where I felt like even in a transition play.
Not this time. Montrezl Harrell swipes it out of bounds. Little air traffic controlling around the iron.
He continues to play. Just look at the spike. He missed the shot. He continued to run and find that spot to get a block shot. But even on it in the beginning, Terrence Mann, he should have scored the basketball, but he was very unselfish, which actually kind of caused confusion on the offensive end.
Lou out rebounds Jokic, provides the outlet. Man down the lane and down the hatch it goes.
I love he just regained himself on that play, getting out in transition, using that left to right to get to the basket.
Lou Williams sensational in this first half. 13 points, 3 rebounds, and that was his 3rd assist. Patterson vacuums in the rebound. Clippers looking to add to their 5-point lead. Montrezl, the second effort is good.
It's amazing to watch Montrezl play. Every single possession, Brian, is with energy, passion, and grit.
3rd rebound for Trez. Here come the Clippers. They've led by as many as 10 in this first half. And Lou was feeling good, and why not? He was 4 of 5 previous to that. Whistle, offensive foul on Jokic as Montrezl absorbs the contact.
Just love right away Lou Williams using those point guard skill, finds Terrence Mann in transition and finishes right over Paul Millsap.
That was the drive with who brought to you by Hyundai. And Lou takes his seat. Nice grin on his face. Mentioned again, 13 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds.
It's a 7-point game because the defensive intensity really picked up for the Clippers.
And we're wowing about the offense, which is very typical for a Doc Rivers team. But Don McClain said it in the pregame show. I agree with him that this could be the best defensive team maybe ever.
Just think about it. Patrick Beverly not playing. He's not playing tonight.
But you're highlighting the defense by Montrezl Harrell, something that nobody's talking about. Ivica Zubac's being the rim protector. There are other guys around defensively. What a follow by Barton after the miss by Harris.
It's a nice play.
Inside of a minute to play in this first half. And Shamet controls shot clock into single digits. Nice defense by the Nuggets. They were 30th 2 years ago. Now last year they were a top 10. Trez with a mid-range. You said it earlier. If he develops that one, he might be untouchable.
Because he has such a quick first step. And if he can make that 15-footer consistently, oh, man. It's over for every team in the entire NBA. But I just love the patience from Montrezl. He recognized that it was 3 seconds left on the shot clock and used that jab step and elevated right over Jokic.
How about this? Montrezl looking to go 2 for 1. Drives in on Jokic. Then loses the ball. Broadcasters jinx in place. Barring an offensive rebound, though, the Clippers will have the final say in this first half and will take the lead into intermission. The question will be by how much? Murray. Late in the clock, Jokic with a deep three. Clippers have a ton of time. Montrez behind the defense, makes the grab and shoves it in. Wow! Closing with crescendo.
Did you see the way Montrez looked at Jokic like he's not even supposed to be on the floor? Get off the floor. Let me grab that on top of your head and finish with authority.
Montrez with 11. The Clippers close the half on a 10-2 run. And Montrezl Harrell getting behind the defense. We didn't talk about this. How about the hands on Montrezl Harrell? What a grab and what a finish.
Sticky fingers.
And Montrezl Harrell and the Clippers out in front by 9 at the break as we send it back over to Jamie Maggio and Landry Shamet of the LA Clippers. Clippers up 9 at the turn over the Denver Nuggets. Clippers looking for their second win of the preseason. Time now for the helpful adjustments brought to you by CarMax. Let's send it over to Jamie Maggio.
Brian, thank you so much. I'm here with assistant coach Rex Kalamian. And Rex,